Hey guys, Terence here. Yesterday my wife called me around 2 in the afternoon complaining about her air conditioner stopped working. Now she has a 2015 Ford Focus. We bought the car brand new. 2 miles or 3 miles was on the car. And so far it hasn't been giving us any problems. Well, I'll show you guys another problem it's been giving us in another video. But so far it's pretty much been okay. We didn't have to take it to get service or anything. But she called me complaining about the air conditioner not working, and I told her to turn it off and to turn it back on until she get to where I was at, and she said it didn't work. So I told her to just leave it off for a few minutes, but it was blazing hot. She had the kids in the car with her, and they were complaining about the temperature, and I told her just let the windows down, kind of suck it up till they get to me. She got to me, turned it off, turned it back on, let the car set for 30-40 minutes, still no AC. Let the car sit overnight, still no AC. So something told me just to check into the fuse. Looked online, there's a lot of threads with people saying they take them to the dealership, but nothing pretty much talking about the fix or nothing that may possibly cause a problem. So we took it to we were gonna take it to the dealership, but I told her, let me run some tests on it. Let me see what I can come up with. So I got my tester and I started testing fuses, and lo and behold, the AC clutch fan fuse was blown. So I'm gonna show you guys where it's located, how to get to it, how to replace it. I'm not sure why it blow. I knew it had got extremely hot on that hood. She said she was sitting in a drive-thru of a restaurant for a pretty long time waiting, and the car was on it was extremely hot, but that shouldn't give it a reason to blow. Maybe that has something to do with it, I'm not sure, but it blew when the car got extremely hot, extremely hot, and it caused a surge, and I don't know, it caused a surge when that clutch fan kicked on, and it popped that fuse. So I'm not sure why it did it, but I found the culprit, and I'm gonna show you guys. Maybe this may help you guys, and I'll monitor it. When I pop this fuse out and I'll change it, I'll show you guys. I'll monitor it, and I'll kind of update the video and see what's going on. If you guys have any questions from here on out, just let me know. But I'm gonna monitor that because I'm not sure what caused that surge and what blew it. Let me show you guys what's the problem, and if you guys possibly got this happened to you, this maybe help you guys out as well. So let me show you guys how to replace that, and let's turn the AC back on and get her back going. So all right, let's go. Okay guys, here's our car, 2015 Ford Focus, the titanium model, and I don't think that has anything to do with it, or I'm not sure how far this setup is. I know we had a 2012. She had the 2012 before we had this, and it was pretty much the same under the hood. So I'm not sure how far back this engine design goes, and we've had quite a few Ford Focus, if I'm not mistaken. I just don't remember the engines off top, but yeah, they pretty much similar. So I don't know how far this problem goes back, or how far this diagnostic or me troubleshooting this problem what years this will possibly help, or I'm not sure. If you got something similar to this setup under your Ford, or how far your year goes back, I don't know. That engine looks not that far off from. We also had a 2006 Ford Focus. We had a 2002 Ford Focus. So I'm not sure. I just got to look online and see. I have to look through my pictures, because of course I've worked on them, and I've changed things on them, minor things. So I should have some video or some footage of those engines, but I'm not sure how far this fix will go back as far as the years of these cars. So we're gonna get this popped out, and I'll show you guys what happened. Well, you know what? Let's do it right now. So this is the fuse box. It's located on the driver's side of the vehicle. This is the one you're looking for right here. It actually has the fuse design on the box. So you want to press right here. There's two. It sets in these slots right here. There's one right there, but you just want to pull back on this and pop it up. That's it. See the two holes right there? It fits in those slots. And there's a fuse remover in here. You want to pull this back, That's all right. Can you let it drop out once you pull it back? I'm doing this with one hand, so forgive me, guys. Uh-oh. Now you pull that back. You pull this back this way, and it'll drop out. There's two ends for removing different, well, no, this is just removing one size fuse. I use that end, squeeze on this, pull it back. So the culprit is for the AC compressor clutch, not clutch fan, sorry. Like I said a few minutes ago, but sorry, it's not the AC clutch fan, it's the AC clutch itself, the clutch that runs the compressor for the air conditioning unit. So it's called in the manual the air conditioned clutch, which is the compressor clutch. It's F27. Let me get some bearings for you guys. This is the top, so it's at the bottom. F27 will be, it's a 15 amp fuse. Will be this guy right here. It's the F27. Put it on there, pull back, lock it in, just pull up. Now set it in here, and look at that. It is blowed. The fuse is blowed. I'm so glad to see that. In a way I'm not, because I don't know what caused it, but I'm glad to see that this will get the air compression back going. This will get the air conditioning back going, and I can monitor it. I can see what's happening, or if it'll happen again. Okay, I'm back. Apparently there isn't any spare fuses. Cheap so-and-sos. Excuse me, guys. Shaking my head. Can't believe it, man. I guess they would have been located right here. This has never been off. Never. Wow. I couldn't put a fuse in here. Of course, I got mini fuses. It's a 15 amp. You don't want to replace it with a 20 amp or nothing smaller. You want to go back with the exact fuse that came up out of there. Those amps for that component was measured off for a reason. If it was a 20 amp meant to go in there, it would have been in there. If it was a 10 amp or 5 amp meant to go in there, would have been in there. So please, guys, replace it back with the same fuse. You don't want to go up and possibly damage a whole bunch of stuff or start a fire because you've increased the amperage for that surge. You don't want to do that because you can start a fire. You definitely don't want to go low because it'll pop before it's designed to pop. So put the same amp fuse back in there, guys. If you don't got one, just go out and get one real quick. It won't cost much. So I'm gonna start it. Engage that as the main fuse once again. We're gonna start it before we put everything back. We're gonna see if that fuse is gonna hold up, or if it's gonna pop, because I'm not sure why it popped. So let's get the fan going. Let's see where we at. Let's start this vehicle and turn it AC on. Okay, here we go, guys. Fingers crossed. As you can see, this video has ran continually. I don't want to alter anything. I want you guys to see if it works, if it don't, or if it pops again. All right, here we go, guys. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. She's gonna kill me if I don't get it going. So I should hear it. We should hear the noise when I turn the air compressor on. Unlike before, we didn't hear the noise. The clutch stopped as it should because the fuse is blown. So here we go. I heard it. I heard the clutch engage. The air feels. Give a little gas to see. Is it getting colder? I should have been feeling something now. Oh man. Turn it off. Turn these fans down. Nothing. Came on for a brief second. Let's go back out and see what we got. Houston, we might have a problem. Uh-oh. It popped again. Guys, we're gonna have to go to the dealership and see what's wrong. It melted that thing. Oh, this sucks. It would do this when the temperature's like a gazillion degrees today. Alright guys, I'll let you guys know further what's going on. I think something's wrong with the compressor, me personally. I hope that's the case. I don't want anything. It'd be tough if it's some wires kind of melted together because it got extremely hot under here. Man, I can't. I'm extremely upset, guys. I know things happen, but it's like the moment that AC popped on for 1 second, it popped the fuse. Yeah, that sucks. All right, to be continued. Okay guys, I got the car jacked up. Got the wheel off. I'm gonna try to diagnose the problem. As you can see, I can take all of this stuff off, but I don't need to right now. I will take these Allen key bolts out. These are star key bolts, I'm sorry. But I removed this cover, splash guard. But as you can see the compressor right there. There's 2 harnesses for it. I'm gonna use some cutting pliers. They're in the front, honey. I'm gonna use some cutting pliers to remove those plugs from their brackets. I don't know if you guys can see down in there. Let me zoom in. Let's zoom in some. That's one of them. Get some light here. I'll show you guys. I put my phone on the stand. I'm going to remove those brackets. Those plugs from their brackets with some cutting pliers and unplug them. What I will do is place a new fuse in when I unplug them to see if the compressor's my problem. Hopefully that's the case. I don't want to put a fuse in and it pops again when the wires are unplugged. That lets me know that I have an electrical issue. There's some wires possibly frayed together from heat. So I hope that's not the case. But I want to know when you're jacking these cars up, guys, make sure. One thing I've learned, I've been working on cars since I was 12 or 13 years old. One thing I've learned is the jack is not reliable. These new jacks and these modern jacks they're reliable to jack the car up, but you don't depend on them. Use a jack stand. It's important. It's just a rule of thumb to me. This is what I teach in every one of my videos, or talk about in every one of my videos, the importance of using that jack stand, because if this car falls on you, you cannot replace limbs or legs or feet. You don't want to go through that. So avoid it. Place a jack stand under the car, jack it up in a reliable spot so you don't have to worry about bending anything. And let's diagnose the problem. Let's see. Let me unplug this thing. I do want to show you guys this. I thought the compressor would be seized. Zoom back out. I thought it would be seized, but it's spinning freely. The clutches, of course, it's not engaged, but it's spinning freely. So it just sucks. I have to go through this. We just missed the warranty. Car has 60,188 miles. And I'm just sick. I'm sick because I have a 2003 Honda, a Toyota Corolla. That's the AC will freeze you out of there. My Blazer right here with the plow on it. The AC, it's a 98. Well, it's not a Blazer. My GMC Sonoma with the plow. It's a 98 Sonoma, and the AC will freeze you. It gets extremely cold in there. With the original compressor, I haven't done anything to it. The same as the Toyota Corolla. For this to be a new car, it doesn't make any sense that I have a fully charged air conditioning unit in this car. We bought it at 0 miles. Well, it had 3 miles on it when we bought it, plastic on the seats. And just to go through this, and just to miss the warranty, I even tried to tell the guy, hey, it happened a minute ago, we just not getting in here. Of course, they have to stick to their guns with that 60,000 mile warranty. You know, he was saying it could have been 60,003 miles and the warranty would have been void. So this sucks, guys, and I'm gonna have to fix it. But there's a tutorial coming out of this, and hopefully I can help one of you guys out who have the similar problem. So that's the good part, and there's nothing on earth I cannot fix, so we're gonna get this knocked out. So let's get some diagnostic going. Let's diagnose the problem. So let's diagnose the problem and see what we got going on here. So as you can see, let me see. I still got the 2 fuses. I replaced another one I got here, and both of them popped immediately upon pressing the AC button. So let's get these wires unplugged, and I'll show you guys that, and we'll get the video going. So, all right, let's get started. Okay, let's get these. Hope you guys can see. If I have to do this job, of course, I remove the bottom cover down there. This cover right here, so we get a clear view of everything. I know it's pretty dark in here right now. I don't have any light out here with me. We're gonna pop these off. I'm using these cutting pliers. Okay, pull them out. There goes one. Let me zoom back some. I apologize for the lighting. That's all I got right now. There's tape around this sensor. Let's get it off. Alright, we got the tape off. Alright, so I got the tape off. You want to push this down and pull it off. That's one of them, one of the plugs. There's no tape on the other one back here. But it's the same push-pull procedure. Let me get my finger back here. Same push-pull procedure, as you can see right here. Pushing right there, push in. Let me get a better view. Like I said, when I do the job, this is just me diagnosing the problem. I'm out here at the other house. We don't have much. I don't have many tools here, but I'm gonna press this in and pull it up. All right, we're gonna pop another fuse in now, and we're gonna see what's the issue. Okay, guys, they go the blown fuses, and here is the new fuse. Let's pop this in that F27 slot. This runs the compressor. Before I start the car, let's check to see if the wires are out of the way. The belt spinning. Okay, there they go. I got them leaning by the axle. Of course, I can't drive it right now, but as long as it's not by the serpentine belt. And if I do have to do the job, guys, I'm gonna replace that serpentine belt since I have to take it off. It has 60,000 miles on it, so might as well put a new one on it, even though this one looks really good. And also, I'm gonna change the oil, even though we just got the oil change not that long ago, since I'll have the whole bottom panel off. But part of me is wishing that something is wrong with the little harness right there. But 80% of me is hoping that it's not, because that's a whole nother can of worms I'm not trying to open. You know, you hoping it's not an electrical issue. That'd be extremely bad. And you have to try to figure it out. Get a fluke meter or something and try to figure it out. But I hope that that's not the case. If it's the compressor, it sucks because it's fully charged, and I have to kind of get that freon removed and charge it myself. Let's start the car. Those lights may trigger off a service engine light. I hope not, but I'll plug them back in just to be safe. But let's turn the AC on and let's see what we got. I think the fan actually came on. Oops. So let's remove the fuse and see what we got going on here. It popped whenever I turned the AC on, so let me turn the car off before I remove the fuse. Let's turn the car off first, guys. I haven't triggered any service engine light, but the AC button's on. Let me turn it off again. Turn on again, I hear the fan kick on. So, the fuse should be blown like before. I hope it's not. I really do. I hope it's not. We're doing this in one take. This is how we're gonna diagnose the problem. If that compressor's bad, or if that you have a frayed wire somewhere. You have some wires and stuck together or melted together from heat. So that's, oh please, I don't got time for no drama. Oh, it's still good. That's the F27 slot. We have a bad compressor, guys. Oh my. Oh wow. Snap. Compressor fuse. I'm gonna plug them back up, and we're gonna leave the fuse in, and we're gonna see what happens. Let's plug those wires back up in that compressor. All right. Both are plugged up, out of the way of the belt spinning. Where is it between the air conditioning line? So let's start the car. It'll take a miracle for that thing to work. All right. Make sure the fuse is back in. Yep, it's in. It should pop. Press the AC button. believe that fuse is popped. Let's go check it out. No running compressor. We can turn it on because we know what happened, guys. We know what the culprit is. Let's go. You have 27 fuse. We are almost 100% sure it's popped. And there it is. And with the other two fuses, 15 amp fuses, they're all fried. Okay guys, let me order the parts. I'm gonna try to find a used compressor. We're gonna trade this car in. I'm not putting on new compressor. They cost an arm and a leg. I see one. I'm definitely not getting one that's with the same miles. I'm gonna try to find, if I do get a used one, guys, I'm gonna try to find one with just a few miles. I think I've seen a couple online with 3,000 miles on the car. The car possibly was in an accident. I would rather take my chances with that than spend $400 some on a compressor, on a new compressor. And if you're keeping the car, you know, I do recommend getting a new one, but I'm gonna find one with a few thousand miles on it and replace it. And we're gonna replace this car because this is bothering me. I'm just so upset. We're gonna get rid of this car. We're not keeping this car. So we're gonna put a used compressor on here for the time being, and we're getting rid of this thing. All right. To be continued. Okay, guys. Today is the day I'll be fixing the car. But first, let me tell you guys a few things that happened. The part came about 3 days ago. It's right here. It was off a car with 4,000 miles. The car, my wife's car, has 61,000 miles on it. We just missed the warranty, and I didn't want to buy a used part with what seemed to be low miles, like anything 30, 40, 50, 60,000 miles. I don't want to buy it now with the chance of the compressor going out again. So I just got something. This one had 4,000 miles on it. The car was in an accident, but I bought it from offline, had 4,000 miles on it. So I feel comfortable with this, knowing that we're not keeping this car. We're getting rid of the car. So the part came when I was out of town. I told my wife to go take the car to a specific shop that I've dealt with in the past that does good work, and I told her that there was a gap that would remove the AC for us for like 60, 70 bucks. He'll get rid of the AC out of the car because it was, of course, fully charged. So she goes up there. She tells me that they were crowded. I'm out of town now. She didn't call me and tell me, but it is what it is. She goes up there, and they were crowded. She should have just stuck around for a little while. She wound up Googling some bogus shop, and she went there, and of course they charged her an arm and a leg, $106 to remove some Freon out of the car. Not so mad at that, you know. Yes, I am, because she could have got it for much cheaper than that, but it's fine. But when I get back, I look under the hood. The low pressure cap is gone. It just sucks, man. It really, that bothers me, because now I have to order another cap. I'm surprised this one's not lost the high pressure, but the Schrader valve cap is missing off this, and it just got me frustrated because, you know, you bad enough you charge her too much to do the car. I mean, to just remove some Freon out of the car, you just lose the cap, and it got me upset. So I know it's not a big thing. It's just a big thing to me. I just hate somebody taking advantage of, like, just because you've seen a woman there and you just charge so much, or my wife in particular, just because I know so much about cars and I've been just dealing with them since I was 13 years old, and just to see the carelessness of someone fixing her car and not just replacing the part and charging that $106. Of course, she called up there bitching, and the guy said, bring it back and they'll put a new one on there. But I just told her, don't even worry about it. I'll rather bad give them no more. I don't want to deal with them anymore. So, but I'm gonna fix the car today, guys. I'll show you guys what to do to get the car fixed. A little upset, but it is what it is. It's water under the bridge now at this point. So let me get the car jacked up on some jack stands. Let me get set up, guys, and let's get this compressor on. Alright guys, got my tools ready. My jack stand. It rained last night, so kind of damp out here. Got my jack stand. Got me some cardboard. The tools, these are my little tools that I carry in my truck. Even though I got a big toolbox on the back of my truck for emergency, but this should be enough to get the job done. I'll show you guys what I'll be using along the way in more detail, but I always cut me a piece of cardboard up and work on. And my tripod. But before we jack the car up, guys, we're gonna do some things up top. We're definitely gonna disconnect the battery cable and remove the belt from up top. Okay, let's take the battery cover off so we can see what size driver we're gonna need to remove the post. So there's arrow here. Get your hands in here. Pull out. Cover comes right off. It's the first time it's ever coming off. Of course, mostly every one of them now, the newer cars are 10mm. So let's get a 10mm and get that off the hot side of this battery. Not much. You don't got to take it off. Just loosen a little bit. Twist it off. Just tuck it under here so it won't go back in place. Now let's get over here and remove the tension there. Zoom in for you guys. There's a hex design. It's right here on the tensioner. There's a hex design in the metal of the tensioner, so it can allow for a socket that looks like a 13 or 14. I think it's a 14 or 9/16. That's a 14mm or 9/16, guys. I'm almost positive it is. Try to zoom in some more. Yeah, with that guy right there. Put a 9/16 or 14mm. I'll see which one it is. Okay, guys, I got a 14mm and a 9/16. I want to see which one fits on there. Snug. Let's try the 9/16 first. It fits pretty good. Let's try the 14. It fits even better. So it's a 14mm, guys. Both will work. The 9mm, 9/16 will not slip. I'm sorry. So if you ain't got a 14mm, 9/16 will work. It won't slip on that. All right, we're going this way with it, guys. Remove that belt so you guys can see I got it on there. Kind of tight spot. Want to be careful. Don't want to break the neck off of this. I'm using a small ratchet though, a really small stubby. Okay, I got to push as far as it can go. Guys, I want to show you guys something. don't know why I ain't never do this in the video, but this wheel wasn't stuck on, but I want to show you guys in case you ever have difficulties removing the wheel, having a hard time taking the wheel off. After you remove the bolts, as you can see, I got all the bolts right there. The wheel is off. On a lot of older cars and some newer cars, the wheel tend to get stuck. It'll make a seal between the rotor. What you want to do after you remove the lugs, it's almost impossible to pull it off when it's stuck. What you want to do that'll make it come off easy, I don't care if you have to kick it hard sometimes, you want to turn around, use the back of your heel and kick here on the wheel or the rim. You want to kick here. You want to try to hit the tire as much as you can. Kick as hard as you can. If it depends on how hard it's stuck on there, but you want to kick like that. This wheel wasn't stuck on, of course, but I want to show you guys that if it's stuck on extremely hard, kick. If the wheel is stuck on extremely tight, just kick super hard this way. Use the back of your heel and kick that way, like I just did. You kick it, and it's gonna pop right off. Look how hard it's stuck on there. But of course, this one wasn't stuck on there. That's some mud. So let's get the jack stand set up. Okay, guys, we're gonna remove this fender cover. Kind of looking at how it tucks in place. Tucks in right here. We're gonna use some cutting pliers to remove these. As you can see, I got one started already. These are Torx T30 bolts all up through here, just like the bottom cover, the T30. So let's zip this off real quick. There's some more under the bottom. That's 2 and 1, 2 Torx bolts and 1 oak user. Okay guys, I'm back. I removed the cover. See, it's right there. Put the bolts on top of it so I won't lose it. But I want to show you guys something. I think we got an issue. It should nowhere near be this dirty in here. And I noticed we had to fill this car. It ran low of antifreeze maybe about 3 or 4 months ago. But it hasn't done it again. The antifreeze are pretty much tipped off. And I'll show you guys. Yeah. Hook my phone. But it's filthy under here, so I don't know. As you guys can look and see, the antifreeze is it's still a little low. I filtered to the max. But I want to show you guys something, man. If it ain't one thing, it's another. I don't know if this is attributed to the problem for the compressor going bad, but there's a cover covering this compressor. It's 10mm bolts. If you look at the one of the bolts, it has some, it's antifreeze. As you can see, it rained last night, so what you're seeing now is the water dripping from the rain when I let the hood up. It rained extremely bad, but that's orange. That's antifreeze. And it's in the vicinity of the water pump, which will suck. But I got everything off. That's the good part. Like I said, it happened about 4 months ago. It was weird and unusual that the car ran low of antifreeze. It was actually kind of getting hot. So she had to shut the car down. And it's been a minute because the car had like 56,000 miles. You took it to the dealership and they just filled it with antifreeze and said it wasn't nothing. It just needed to be tipped off. And I'm like,
antifreeze, it doesn't evaporate. Why does it need to be tipped off? I just found this strange that they wouldn't investigate that. Man, I'm just done. I really am. You know, just seeing this is the first time me getting in this car, like besides changing the oil. But as you can see, everything was clean in this car. This is the first time everything has been taken off. But as you can see, we have an antifreeze leak and it's in the vicinity of that water pump. So might as well change the water pump while I'm here and clean all this mess up, because it may have attributed to the early demise of this condenser. We have a 2003 Toyota Corolla, and the air conditioner gets freezing cold, like I said earlier, and my GMC Sonoma is a 98, and the air conditioner gets cold in there as well. It's extremely rare to see these compressors go out like this. So did this leak attributed to this compressor going out? And it's filthy under here. I don't like this. So hate to be ranting, guys. I want to show you guys this. We're gonna remove this cover, and I bought a flex belt for this, so I'll cut this belt off. And I just think you guys should replace the belt. I don't think you have a choice. There's no tension to hold this belt. You have to cut this belt off, or remove the compressor itself and tilt it, and it'll come off. There may be a way to put it on too, so we'll try some ways to show you guys, just in case, you know, money's tight. But I just recommend a few dollars for a belt. If we can unloosen that compressor, take the bolts out the compressor and tilt it, the belt should slip right off. So we can try that, but I'll cut it off. If not, because I don't need it, I bought a new one. So I'm puzzled. This has me baffled, guys, and it just sucks. It really does, man. We just missed the warranty. I shouldn't be under this car fixing no car with no 61,000 miles on it with no compressor going bad. You know, we bought the car brand new, 0 miles, and I'm just done. We gonna get rid of it. So let's get this cover off. 10mm bolts, guys. I'll hook back up to I won't show you guys this, but like I said, these for the cover with the T30 Torx bolts like we used last time. I mean, for the fender cover. So let's pull this cover off. I'm gonna get the compressor off. Make sure you guys have the compressor, the AC removed from the compressor. That stuff, those CFCs are dangerous. I know, man. You may be tempted to try to release them somehow. I don't know, or try it yourself. I wouldn't even buy no kit to mess with that stuff. I've been working on cars since I was 13, and you know, I kind of swayed away from that stuff even early on in my life, you know, because I know the long-term effects of those CFCs, those chlorofluorocarbons, are terrible for the ozone layer, and you know, we not may be affected by it, but our kids down the line possibly can be affected by it. You know, because that stuff is damaging to the ozone layer. So even though she spent $106 to get it removed, you know, I just recommend you guys take it somewhere and get it removed. You know, of course you can get it for much cheaper than that, but get it removed, man. Get those lines discharged before you remove this compressor, and take those lines off. So, all right, let's get the cover off. All right, guys, I want to show you guys something. There's 4 bolts for this cover. There's an extremely long one that I'm gonna leave in the cover on the back side, and these 2 are identical. They go right here and right here in the cover. The first one, I'll put it back just to keep it, to keep my bolts marked without marking them. So this is the short one. Very first hole. This hole, same size bolts. That one is extremely long. I'll leave it in the cover. Slide it back here. Wow, man, I know it's water leaking, man, from the rain, but I'm getting drenched under here. That's why I keep the cardboard down, and I'm gonna change the oil too while I'm on here. But let me get the, as you can see, I removed the cables previously on this. I mean the plugs previously on this compressor. Let's see what kind of bolts are they on here. There's 1, It's like 14 millimeters. Oh wow. So the two long bolts that hold the cover on right here goes to the compressor as well. And the third one. All three of them go to the compressor. And the fourth one does not go to the cover. So one bolt left and this will drop down. We'll see if I have to remove I have to cut the belt off. Yeah, it's not leaking. That's from, I guess, him removing the fluid and the dye that was in the AC. When he removed it, leaked down. So, man, it just bothers me to see that. So I removed them plugs. I removed the plugs. It's a 13 millimeter, guys. It's not a 4. It's a 13 millimeter. Okay, this gonna work. I don't know what the lines are holding on. Let's see. This is actually a shorter bolt than all the rest. Of course, it should be because it's not on the cover. So I'll keep this to the side. Got great memory, guys. This goes without the back bolt goes. It doesn't go in the housing that covers this compressor. So I'm held on by the belt. So yeah, that's an easy way to get the belt off, guys. You don't gotta cut it if you don't want to. But let me go back on the tripod. The two line bolts are like 13 millimeters as well. I'm gonna wrench on them and pull them off. So I'm gonna let this hang by the belt, guys, and I'm gonna get the wrench and remove the bolts, and I'm gonna unplug the plugs. Okay, guys, we got it off. The O-rings look good, but I'm debating should I buy some more. I think I got some. Okay, guys, just came back from the store. We got the BAM under here. I'm putting some full synthetic in here. It's all we've been using for the last few oil changes. I changed the oil in here, and they had to sell on the DXCP extended life. Or I didn't have any down. I got 100 cans of Freon, but I didn't have any dye. So, or any oil. So I got the PAG 100 to dye in it. This is probably what the factory used. I got the belt. I got the other belt for the. I got this belt brand new in the house as well. This is for the compressor. Connects to the compressor and the crankshaft pulley. So this is connecting. This is the serpentine belt. I'll replace. Even though that belt looks great, it has 60,000 miles on it. So, with the water pump. Let's do a last brand. I'm pretty okay. It just sucks because if I'd have known this before I took the belt off, if I'd have known this before I took the belt off, I could have broke those bolts. But as you can see, they're right there. I can get them both ways. I'll lock a wrench on both sides, and I'll fight them against each other. I'll use one as I'll put one in the tighten position and one in the loosen position, and just break all three like that. Well, man, I'll be able to get two of them broke loose like that. So the third one, I'm gonna have to figure it out. I mean, this is easy. So we'll get those three. They 10 millimeter bolts, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get those three off and remove that pulley. And the water pump don't look too bad. They're 10 millimeter bolts as well. So it sucks that this video is extended. So if you guys have not yet, I started off doing the compressor. The air compressor went bad on this car. I don't know why, for reasons unknown. And realized that the water pump was bad, which may attribute it to the water pump. I mean, the compressor going bad because it's been leaking bad down there. As you can see, the motor housing is terrible. So we're gonna get that water pump removed. Okay guys, I got a wrench up top here. Show you what I did. It's pretty easy. I got a wrench on the bottom. Both 10 millimeters. So what I'm doing is I'm using the top one and I'm pulling to loosen, and it's catching onto this. When I turn it to loosen it up, it catches onto this and it unloosens. So I've got one of them loose already. Okay guys, before I continue, I want to show you guys, I decided to move this. Super easy to disconnect. Grab this from around here. I'll let the fluid drain out. Just move it out the way, I'm not going to disconnect it. I'll let the fluid drain out, try to keep as much as I can in the container. Call me cheap if I don't cheap, but I've spent enough money on parts. A lot of people, even before I've changed Ford Focus engines on 2002, 2003 models, you pretty much got the same mount. Man, even some Saturns got a lot of these same side mounts that looks identical to this, same setup. But the water pump is offsetting it, so of course I can remove it, jack the engine up, and be right at the water pump. The pulley for the water pump, it was difficult for me to get it down from that little notch right there. It was a problem for me pushing down, so I had to kind of pull it up. And I put the screws inside the pulley and put it to the side so I won't lose it. But you can drill these two bolts out and jack the engine up, or take these two bolts off, just remove the whole mount like that. The water pump is right there. There's only 3 bolts that I see holding it. Of course, they're 10 millimeter as well. I'm gonna get this pulled off, but I just want to show you guys that I could have easily removed this mount, made it a lot more easier for me to kind of fix this area. I don't know, I'm contemplating. I want to zip it off, and I think I got the software for this. You want to get the torque specs and torque it back down, but if I don't have to, I'm not. Just want to show you guys a simple way to get this water pump off. As you can see, we got the pulley off, and we're gonna get the pump off. And I'll let the fluids drain down in the catch pan. So, oh guys, let me show you guys real quick. With this, see this right here? They seat down onto this metal piece right here, right here. What you do, put the screwdriver on the back part, push it out a little bit, comes right out. Same thing here. Screwdriver on this back part, push this way, push that way, push, if you go on here, pushing that way, and it comes right up. This is the side, That's the back. So when you push it back in place, it locks in place on its own. As you can see, the back, this was kind of fat, so I used the small one. It worked perfect. Take a couple seconds to take off. All right, let's get the water. I'm looking, guys. I may have to take this water pump. This motor mount off because there's limited space. Maybe it comes out and turn down to the bottom because I'm right there. So, or make it turn up through here. Okay. Let's see where we are. Let me get a catch pan, guys. Guys, before I remove the water pump, I'm gonna gunk down in there. I'm gonna gunk in there real good. I don't want to gunk it when the new part is on there and clean it off. I'm gonna do it right now since I got my catch pan under here. I'm gonna gunk it right now before I take it off because it looks terrible up in here. I'm gonna gunk it right now. Let it sit for a minute, hose it down, then I'm gonna take the water pump off. So, if you watch any of my previous videos, stay using this stuff. I'm a avid user of this. I'm a fan of this gunk. It's gonna get it back clean. So I'm spraying it with the new stuff. With the old components on here. I'm not trying to spray it on those sensors. That's the crank sensor. I may take it. I'm gonna cover that crank sensor up with some plastic real quick. I wedged some plastic off in there. I moved the sensors for the plug for the compressor to the back. Wedged some plastic from the auto parts store bag all around I kind of cuffed it around the whole entire sensor, and I just started gunking in there. So let it sit for a few minutes. I'm gonna hose it down. All it don't get off, I'll light hose it down. All it don't get off, I'll kind of scrub it, but it should come right off. That gunk is incredible. But I'll scrub it with the brush to get it back clean. So let's wait for a few minutes. I'm gonna hose it down, then we're gonna pull that. Okay, I got the hose. Do a light spray. Okay guys, my phone just threw a hot error. It's super hot out here. My phone just said it shut down and said it's too hot. I had to let it cool down. So I put it by the AC for a second just to show you guys. It came right up, right out the hole. I'll clean around in there good. But that gasket was holding on. It came right up. I thought I was gonna take the motor mount off, but it came right up. Shouldn't have a problem. Put it back down. I'll get it clean in a second. Let me get my phone charge up. We'll be back. Taking a rag and clean down in here, that's all. Make sure the outside surface is clean. Nothing to stop it from bolting up incorrectly. That looks good. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm take the new water pump. I'm gonna reach in there. I'm taking the new water pump. I'm reaching there. Dip my hand in some of the Dex Cool. This car takes Dex Cool antifreeze, and I'm gonna lube the O-ring with the Dex Cool.
Okay, it goes on like this. I think that's lubed up pretty good. Okay. We up there, so you guys can see it. Just gotta push it in now. It's in place. Went right in. I'll probably get underneath the car and push it up. All right. We're in. Make sure you lube that O-ring with some of that Dex Cool. I lubed it perfect, and it went right in. I know you guys can see that. We're way down in there. It's all the way in. You know, the screws look to be lined up perfect. Okay guys, I just called the local AutoZone and got the specs. The water pump mounting bolts for this car is 89-inch foot-pounds. So I converted it, which is about 7.4 foot-pounds, because I don't have a inch-pound of torque here at the house. I only have a foot-pound. All right. Like I said, I could have took the mount off, jacked the engine up, like a bunch of other cars I did, but I got some space to work with. When I moved that reservoir out the way, I got a little space to work with. I'm gonna put that pulley down on there. And even if you remove this, make sure you get the torque specs for these and put these back right, torque them down to specs. Also, jack the car up. It'll be easier for you to put the pulley on. It'd be kind of difficult to put this pulley, but I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna spin it as I'm turning it. So let's get the pulley and put it on. Okay, we got it on. All right. Just gotta line the bolts up. Hopefully you guys can see in there. Pulley is on without removing the motor mount. All right, putting the belt on, guys. I'm gonna show you how it goes before I put it all the way on. The serpentine belt goes as follows. It goes around the alternator. It goes around the tensioner. It goes around the water pump. I should move it from here. It goes around the alternator from the pulley. Make sure we got it on there right. Okay. See the water pump? Goes around the alternator, comes here, and it comes to the crankshaft. So I'm gonna have somebody to push it for me up here. Push my tensioner for where I put the crankshaft on. I mean, where I put it around the crankshaft. All right, go. Push it all the way forward. You pushing it all the way forward for me? As far as you can go? Mm-hmm. We're gonna go to the back pulley. You're on the back pulley. It's on the alternator. It's around the thing. It's around the water pump. Perfect. All right, let it go, Jamal. Easy forward. All right, perfect. Good job. That's how you put the serpentine butt on. Okay, guys, gotta remove the mount. I'm just gonna remove these two bolts out the mount so I can torque them bolts down in the pulley. As bad as I didn't want to remove it, I'll get the torque specs to the mount, remove it. I'm gonna jack the engine up when I just remove these two bolts. They're 15mm. So I'll just remove these two bolts, put them back in their same spot. 15mm. Let me show you guys how I got the engine. Got a piece of 2x4. On the oil pan. Make sure you put a 2x4 there. You don't want to punch a hole in that oil pan. That's aluminum. You definitely want to punch a hole in it. So we're going to jack up some. Just enough to reach those bolts. Okay, I can reach one on the angle right here without removing the whole mount. Would have took a second just to remove the mount, but I can get them torqued down like this. Torque a little bit more. That's about got it. Okay guys, as you can see, I got it on there. I'm gonna get down the bottom and wedge my 10mm against the other bolts. And go the opposite way with them and get this torqued down at 18 foot-pounds is these. Done. Okay guys, I got the mount back on. Just call AutoZone. The guy said the torque specs for these bolts that I took off was 35. Alright, got that one did. Last night, before I came in, I removed the oil screw, let the oil drain out, and I didn't do the filter yet. I'm gonna do that now, and then I'm gonna replace, and then I'm gonna put the compressor on while I'm under here. Once I put the screw in. So we're gonna get the compressor popped up now. I'll install the lines before I push it up. Put the new belt I bought on there. Okay guys, here got the new belt. It's a stretch fit. There goes the old belt. I'll put the parts. Still looks good. I'll put the part number or the link to buy this belt in the description box or where I purchased it from, and the other belt, the belt that I took off.
the serpentine belt. So let's get the compressor up. Before I get started, get the oil drain out the filter now. But I'm gonna show you guys the O-ring. It looks good around the compressor lines. This one. This goes to the back of, to the far outside, like towards the wheel side of the compressor. This is the high line. This is the low pressure line. I'll wipe the dirt off of it, but it looks good. Okay, it sits this way. This is the high pressure line, low pressure. The line with the O-ring goes in here. The line with the ring that's fitted inside the line goes here. Okay, let me show you guys what I did. Got the filter up. The oil screw is tight, so I'm done with that. But you want to hang the, let me zoom out some. You want to hang the belt, the stretch fit belt. You want to hang the compressor by the stretch fit belt, by the belt. So you put it up there. Before you tighten it down or do anything or put the lines on, this gives you some leverage to work with these lines, because it's still kind of tilted. But only put the back bolt in. This is the bolt that goes without the cover that covers this compressor. The metal cover. This is the only bolt, the bigger bolt. As you seen earlier, I took out the last bolt I took out. So I want to show you guys that the foot-pound torque, if I'm not mistaken, is 18 for the lines as well as the compressor. But I'll double check. When I called AutoZone yesterday, they gave me the torque specs. They were 18 foot-pound for these screws as well as these screws. So we'll get them torqued in right. Let's get the lines on, guys. Okay, guys, a couple things I just found out. The screw I put up in there wasn't actually twisted in. As you can see, I didn't damage the threads or anything. It just was, it kind of screwed in on the angle, so it didn't hold it like I want to. So you don't do that. What you can do is put the first line on. Once you hold it up, put the front line on, which is this is the high line, the one runs to the front. So put that line on and use this bracket for right now because the weight of the compressor is held up by this belt, so it won't bend the lines. The lines just kind of keep it up for us. So this is, unless you want to, I'll jack it up eventually. I'll put a piece of wood here and jack it up so I can get some bolts started. The back bolt at least started. But pop that clamp up. Use a flathead screwdriver, push that clamp in place, lock it in place, couple seconds, super easy, and now you're good. You can lock it in. And another thing I found was I put the front line, I put both lines on, but I just removed this one because it was kind of difficult to get to this the nut. So I'm gonna tighten this first, then I'll put this one on and tighten this one. So just a couple things I want to share with you guys. Okay guys, let me show you what I'm doing exactly. You can see where I got the 2x4 place. It's not touching that black plug at all. You want to face it on the corner towards the back of that compressor. You want to face it on the corner and jack it up right on the tip of it. Right there with the 2x4. What this allows you to do, let me try to get in there. You can see how that's even just by jacking it up. Let me zoom back out. If you look at the screw, it's not on the angle or anything. I can just turn it easily by hand. I can screw it all the way up by hand. No cross threading. You don't want it to be on the angle because you can cross thread it. You wanna, as you can see, I was doing adjust the compressor as I jacked up for that bolt to line up. So I stuck the bolt in the hole and got it centered with. I stuck the bolt in the hole and got it centered with the engine, hole, with the engine threads, and I started jacking it and started moving the compressor back to when it lined up. I jacked it up and it wedged in there, and now I can just tighten it a tiny bit and remove the jack out of my way and finish. I can torque down now and I can finish getting the rest of the bolts and the mounts up. As you can see, everything else is lined up, picture perfect. So just a little trick opposed to not trying to put that belt on. Trying to put that belt on last, you know, it would have kind of been super difficult. So I'm using the jack, but please note, keep in mind, you want to not let the 2x4 touch that plastic plug at all. It's not touching it, period. Maybe because this 2x4 I'm using is old and ancient, and as you can see, you can look directly through it. It's not touching, so you want to go on a slight angle like I am and get it jacked up. So let's get the rest of the bolts in, then we'll torque down. Jack is off. Got the one bolt tightened in. Those are 18 foot-pound, those are, so we're gonna torque those, but I got that one line off still because it makes it easy for me to reach this one. I'll have to get the torque bar now, maybe through this way, or the torque wrench this way. Okay, you put the screw on. Remember, there's two the same sizes. There are three different sizes. Two the same. One is long, one is small. The long one goes here to the back hole. These go in here. And the short one goes in here. Alright. Cover is on. Cleaned. Looks like the factory cover. Torqued at 18 foot-pound. You should know how it sounds. Torqued. Okay guys, cover's on. Okay, let's pour some oil in the engine and get the charge. I'll just plug the plugs up. Alright, let's get the plugs plug your plugs in, and then we'll worry about charging this bad boy. This is the antifreeze I'll be using for the water pump replacement. Deck's cool. I also changed the oil on this vehicle. I used the XTP extended life. Those are new, well, fairly new. And let me get the oil. Only used for synthetic in every car I own, forever. I know it costs a little money, extra money, but it's worth it. And prolong the engine's life. Okay guys, I got my pump running. I'm pulling vacuum on the lines. Hopefully it'll hold a vacuum. One of these connectors are bad. I used this kit only maybe 3 times. This old cheap kit. So I'm hoping it's the low pressure port. I'm hoping it holds vacuum because the connector is bad. You know, this is what you get for buying the cheap stuff. But you know, I rarely use it. I don't use it twice. I mean 3 times maybe 4. But I think the connector is bad, so hopefully it'll hold vacuum. Okay guys, I'm back. We're holding vacuum still. About to put a charge on it. Everything disconnect. This car takes PAG oil. You gotta put some oil in it. The Ford Focus takes the PAG 46. Not the PAG 100, just a low viscosity oil. This is a 2.0 liter. There's 2 of them. There's a line to go through here. This is not a GTDI ST. Every GTDI I've seen are the hatchbacks. So if you have a Ford Focus, the titanium model, the SE, or just the standard Ford Focus, I'm pretty positive you have a GDI, the 2.0 GDI, and which requires 4.0 ounces or 4 ounces of PAG oil. Good guys, I'm done. Freon is in, filled up. About 90 out here right now. Let's go in the car. Running perfect, running like a sewing machine. So let's go in the car. It's freezing in here. Let's watch it drop. Man, that AC is cold. I use that stuff from NASA. That can from NASA. Wow. Man, that AC is freezing. It's colder than it was from the factory. It's on low. Wow. Man, it is extremely cold in this car and it's on low. And the window's open. Alright guys, this job is a wrap. Until the next job, Terence in the mountain.